Hello my friends, welcome to Challenge Accepted, and what we are going to be working on today is this challenge. We're using this sketch right here, and it's in the challenge is in the Redefined Creative Secret Not Secret Kit Club. So I'm going to put the cool sketch we're going to be using from Sketchabilities up so that you can see it. I'm going to be using Heidi Swap for my product base. I have this great sheet called Bright and Bold that will be my background. I have this Snapchat filter photo of my son. He was at work and sent me an interesting photo of himself, so we'll probably have it sitting right there because the arrow is so great at no, like that. Yeah, I'm gonna end up having it sit like that. And I do know I want some of this scuffy mixed media look in it. So I'm going to be deciding what I want to use. I have a modeling paste and a texture paste. This one's a matte metallic. And let's see, it just says what the lot number is. I'm assuming it's supposed to dry black. And then this glossy dimension modeling paste right here. So I have to come up with some stencils and see what I want to do there, but I'm planning on doing that, which will have to dry. And then I also grabbed out, I have 2 hexagon punches, and I want the size that's in the middle of these two. But I'm going to be using some hexagon punches, and after that, I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward the next part, and let's see where this goes. Okay, first of all, let me tell you how fun it was to do this layout. And I realized I have not used even close to the amount of mixed media that I need to be using lately, because I just felt like I was splatting stuff on and playing like a little kid. So I'm encouraging you guys and challenging you guys to get out a couple of those products that you bought because you thought you'd love, but you somehow have been ignoring. All right, so you see I'm using an oldie but goodie Tim Holtz stencil, and I'm using that really cool paste. It ends up drying very bright white, but it has a glossy sheen to it. And it still is upraised kind of like a modeling paste. I tried not to put it on super thick because I know that I'll have no patience waiting before I keep working on my layout. But it definitely was worth the $3 or so that I spent at Tuesday morning. I will be buying more. If I see the black that I end up using or this white, I'll definitely make it a repurchase because these products are fantastic. Okay, so you're going to see me grab the next stencil in a moment, and I think, I'm not quite sure, but I think that star stencil was from a Hip Kit Club mixed media kit somewhere along the way. No idea when, but that's where I think it is from, and it's just great little star bits. And when I go ahead and use this black paste, I'm not going for the stars to be absolutely perfect and fully defined. I just want you to see that you can kind of see that they're stars, but I'm not terribly concerned with perfection on this because I want scuffy goodness going on. Also, when this black paste dries, it looks like a really nice metallic black sand. So, I mean, the texture is really cool. I don't have anything like it, but it definitely has a really nice sandy texture. It's like almost like you're using nice grout. So that was a win. That was fun. So that my 2 pastes have 2 different textures as well. You know, as if somehow I needed any more like going on in the background. But we did it anyway. So I always go ahead and keep the baby wipes right next to my desk because I know that if I don't clean my stencil right away, I'll end up forgetting. And then I will have just a giant brick of a stencil. So you'll never ever have a time when you do not need baby wipes. All right, so right here you see that I'm shaking up some gold Heidi Swap Color Shine. I don't know what I'm going to do when this is gone. If anybody has found a mist that mimics the same look of this Heidi Swap product, let me know because I've been hunting for it. Oh, we're going to be so lucky. Both the bulldogs have found where I am and they're coming into the room where I am. So unfortunately, you're going to hear snoring in a second. All right, so I'm showing you a little close all of my mad splattering. I did use what I call my pizza box. It was from scrapbooking supplies that I received. And I like to use that because it kind of minimizes the mess all over my desk. The desk I do have, though, it's like a laminate top. It's a really old school desk, so I can clean it. I just rather not clean it if I don't have to. That's all that comes down to. So I'm going to go ahead and trim up this photo of my oldest. My son's my oldest one. And he is consistently kind and sweet to me and always sends me photos of his regular moments in life because he knows that's the stuff I really like to scrapbook most. So he's really good about it. And he also is fully aware when he sends me these things that they may or may not end up on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So that is his fault, right? All right, so this is where, I did spend a moment going, well, I should probably let my background dry. And you'll see very shortly that I choose not to let my background dry. I just end up going for it. So I'm using all the papers that I'm going to be using, I believe, are all from that fabulous Heidi Swap collection. It is full of bright punchy color and black and white accents and all the goodness that happens in the scrapbooking world. All right, so the piece I'm using right there, you can see that there's a bunch of circles that are cut out along the left side, and I ended up really liking that as a way to just add just a little tiny bit more interest to my photo matting. So that was from a previous layout, but I figured if I like it, maybe somebody else might like using the same idea and not just treating that piece as a scrap, because I thought it was kind of cool. So here I am. I'm going to start punching hexagons out of the pattern paper that I have, and I'm going to start by using what we would consider the scrap pieces of the pattern paper to see how far I can get. And because I'm mildly hoarding these papers, because this is all, I only have a few papers of all of these Heidi Swap papers, so of only a few pattern papers, so I'm trying to get my full use out of them. And it's kind of funny because I know I can just buy more, but I always like to challenge myself to see how far I can take product. So you see I'm using my fantastic punches, and like I said before, I want the middle size hexagon. So I have to actually remember to pick that up when I go to the store. I never seem to remember. I think Joann's carries those. I'll have to look when I go next. So now I'm using these itty bitty hexagon pieces, and the sketch did have the large hexagon pieces as well as little ones. I don't think it had any of the medium ones. Not that it matters that much because we're just going to, go with our roll when we're translating sketches, but I did keep the sizes at least close to what the picture said. The sketch said. The sketch didn't say a thing. I kept it close to the image of the sketch. So hopefully you will see that I punched out a bunch of bits, and I'm just trying to vary my colors and vary some patterns and all that kind of stuff to keep this whole thing kind of interesting. And then I go ahead and take a look at this really great cut apart sheet. I'm like, do I want to use any more? Because this sheet's fantastic. I'm trying to get another layout out of this thing while not being stingy. It's kind of a tough balance to get in between. So my background is still damp, and I decided I just couldn't wait because I wanted to play with it. I'm going to start deciding where all of my hexagons are going to go on my layout, and I'm using the places that has the texture paste as embellishment cluster areas. I kind of knew where I was going to put my clusters, and I go ahead and try to bit of the texture still showing, but I am also trying to use that as a nice grounding point in my very busy pattern paper that I already have. But hey, I always feel more is more in scrapbooking. Let me use all the product and I will be happy. So I'm gonna go ahead and find some more places for these hexagons to go, and we'll go from there. All right, I went ahead and fast forwarded to getting my photo on the layout, as well as adhering most of, not all, but most of the hexagons to try to start getting an idea of what the placement of things. And then I realized I better hurry up and start working through getting my title on. So I did in this kit have a number of the Heidi Swap font gold puffy sticker words, I guess is what it's going to be called. Or I guess that's kind of a description of the product. And I'm going to go ahead and also use the hot pink flat alphas. They're kind of like a shiny flat alpha, and I think there were 6 or 8 sticker sheets in her sticker book, but I only received 2, and I'm going to use them as much as I can. My title, due to having specific words, is going to be Discover New Looks, because he definitely was wearing a different look than what he normally is sporting. He's ever so pretty. So let me go ahead and pop that title on. Alrighty, so we have Discover New Looks is below, and this is where my very favorite part of the layout comes in, because at this point we can see that I have the meat of the layout, or the whole main idea of the layout's on. So now this is just the fun little decorating bits. So in this kit as well, this was a scrap room kit. I had some of these great acetate pieces, so I'm trying to use as many of those up as I can. And since this this kit is full of bright color, I figured a little bit of a textural difference is only going to help, and I decided to use my Tim Holtz tiny attacher to put the acetate down. It's always a struggle to figure out how to attach your acetate. Oh, and I believe this word right here, this oh yeah that I'm stapling right there, that I believe is vellum. So yeah, that I would love to get a head or a hold of the entire embellishment pack. I only have a few pieces, but I like them. And they'd go with all kinds of different collections. So I would really like to get a hold of it. So this isn't going to work out. I was seeing if I liked the look of using this this border punch with one of the die cut cards, and I'm putting it up, and I'm just not feeling it that much. Probably because it wasn't repeated elsewhere. So that was me auditioning an idea, and the idea not working out. But I do go ahead and attach this tab punch using that really bold yellow die cut. I didn't use any of the words or anything. I just liked the look of that strong yellow color being part of the focus with the photo. So we'll just tuck that in, and I tucked it underneath the acetate piece as well. Gets it just that much more interesting. So that is good, and you see my fingers tap a lot. Somehow that helps me think when my fingers tap. So on this word sheet, these puffy words, there's a bunch of open hearts as well. So, like love hearts that just aren't filled in. So I bring those in 2 more places. And this is another acetate piece, and it's in this really, really great true green, like not quite a park bench green, but I'm talking like a great St. Patty's green. And what I do there is I use my little tape runner and try to put adhesive on most of the acetate piece so that it looks consistent across the whole thing. So you don't just see a little dab of adhesive, it just looks like that's how the back of it goes. And I did go ahead and use my tiny attacher and put a little staple in, even though I did not need it. I put it in to just mimic what I did with the other ephemera pieces. So this is when I'm going to decide where to put my cute little hexagons, the little baby ones. All right, so I jumped ahead and popped on all those little bits so you didn't have to sit there watching it. And this kit also that I'm using, it also came with this really thin animal print washi, and I find that, and it's in black and white, and it's like kind of vellumy too. So I find that it adds just that itty bit of texture that you need in a couple places. Like kind of like a little bit goes a long way, but I've really been enjoying just putting just little trace amounts of it here and there, and you can see that I put it in 3 places. These are the bins I keep to the right of my desk, where I end up going first to see if there's anything that I can use to add onto my layouts as I go. And right here, these are just these Chamel, they're like wood veneer buttons with little epoxy pictures in the middle of them. Those are just from Tuesday morning. And then I look at these black and white bows from Heidi Swap, also from Tuesday morning, and I believe I just use one black one by my title, so it draws the eye pretty darn nicely. And yes, I used a black bow on this layout with my son. And then I'm using these little Heidi Swap enamel shapes. They're just called embellishments on these products that look like they're being packaged for Tuesday morning, but it's just little enamel shapes, and it's a black, kind of a pearly white and a silver pack that I'm using, but I did get them in whatever colors they had available because I've really been enjoying them. They're really easy to use, just to add a little something something. And I'm seeing if I can put on any of these Chamel puffy bits, seeing if any of them work, and I've been working through the pack bit by bit. A lot of the pieces are pretty random, but as things go, this is a pretty random photo that he sent to me. So I'm going to get all that stuff put away, and this is the tap, tap, tap. What else could I possibly need to put on this layout? And this is where I go into my bin of enamel dots. I have tons of them that go all the way back to the early 2000s, so I've been making a very concerted effort to sprinkle them at will on my pages. So I'm just bringing some of the matching colors that are in other parts of the of this layout. I'm trying to bring similar colors into little clusters here and there. And that's going to be about it. Now I'll go live. All right, everybody, let me show you the sketch one more time that we're working with. Here we go for our challenge accepted. And this is where I went with it. I did do heavy hexagons. I've got some fun mixed media that's still drying, but I have no patience. I have this kind, it's a glossy white. It's kind of cool. It's got a little bit of a shine on it, and this black, it's more of like a gritty black sand. So that is a really cool textural difference. Then I did use up most of the rest of the bits of my little Heidi Swap products that I have here that I used. My title is Discover New Looks because in this photo my son has very nice eyelashes on, a nose ring, all of that good stuff. Oh, I got a little bit of mixed media on his face. I don't know if it would matter with this. And what else can I tell you? Then I went ahead and I started putting in extra bits here and there, which I just explained a second ago. So if you could, go ahead and like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and also look at the link right down there for Scrappy Kathy's take on this challenge. This was so much fun to do, and head on over to Redefined Kreative Secret Not Secret Kit Club because there's a new challenge that is posted every Thursday evening. All right, bye-bye, everyone.